welcome to the Old Man Orange Podcast. I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
And I'm Ryan Dunigan.
We finally went to a Comic Con, something that I've always wanted to do my entire life. Really, the biggest thing I always really wanted to do was go to E3. When I was in high school, that was the number one thing I wanted to do was go to E3. But those were the days where a regular person, an average Joe, couldn't go to E3. You had to be part of a business or something involved in the gaming industry. That was the only way you could go. Which now it's different because now they have a handful of days that you can go. Mm-hmm. But at that time, it was back in the day when you regular folks couldn't go anywhere.
Now on our walkers and rockers on our fucking porch, where at this day and age we can go in.
Well, I always thought that was the dumbest thing ever. It's why the fuck don't you let people in there? It's you talk all this big. Why even announce it to the public?
And have all these big stands, really selling and showing it all off, these big giant figures of all these characters and all that.
Yeah, because you would see it on TV and you'd be like, well, why do you make such a big fucking deal about it when none of us can go there eventually?
Yeah.
That's like having a show about Disneyland. And just having Walt Disney go around all his rides, oh, isn't this so fucking fun? Oh, it's great. Come on. Oh, well, you sell Disney stuff. Well, you can come on the ride too. Come on. Oh, we're having such a great time. Oh, don't you wish you were here?
How much more sad would it be if it was the episode of South Park, and just Walt Disney in Disneyland all by himself?
Oh, it's so fun.
Just Walt Disney in the theme park entirely by himself, no one else.
Nobody else. Well, that's kind of. I remember when I was a kid. I remember going on E3's website and going, the fuck. Really? You can't just go? And it was that was the point too. It was well, you gotta get a fucking job at a mom and pop video game store, then you can go. Mm-hmm. That was the only way to get in there, because I remember the guys at Players Kingdom and Pro Game, they had the chance to go. I don't think they went because
I was listening to a Rooster Teeth podcast one time, and they were talking about that, and they were saying
no, this also goes. This has to be at least
but still
2006 and back probably.
How recent? This sounds so dumb. They went there oh yeah, press, and so they don't have to pay since they're press or whatever. Or well, your credentials we have a website and this and that. Oh, sorry, web doesn't count. Just you guys are the fucking video game expo, and you're not counting web. They eventually got in, but it was one of those things
I guess the only thing you could see about that though is that means almost any fucking kid could show up there and say
one of them mentioned that, but they said, look, we're in the top 20 on YouTube. We have this site. We have this many followers. We're this. We're that. We have shows dedicated to gaming. Yeah, you're still web, though. And
I'm kind of surprised with the fact we're red versus blue.
Yeah, exactly.
That right there should almost be the thing. I'm surprised that they didn't get an email first. But I do actually see where it comes from, though. I can see
to an extent, I see it.
Because, this guy's been fuck, we get things like this all the time. Somebody who has a fucking Let's Play channel thinks they can come there for... And then they're coming in for free, you know? There is always that thing. I do always kind of appreciate people, though, that don't try to get the free pass. And they kind of come in, because that's the thing, a lot of times you get people press and stuff. It's Kevin Smith, I like what he always says. He's I get those free movies. All of us actors and filmmakers and stuff seem to get, people send you those free movies. But whenever I watch them, I make sure I buy a ticket online. Mm-hmm. That means
support it.
Whenever I think that, I just picture there's some guy out there well, there's no seats left. Well, no, there's not one left. This guy online bought it, but he never showed up. well, can I just go and sit there? No, what if he does show up?
What's this guy's name? At that Kevin Smith. No, well, I understand that. You just can't, and they even mention that. You just can't have just any, just somebody with just a blog that they have on geosites.com or something.
Well, yeah, by that case, it's
But by that point, when you actually have, those kind of credentials and you have, that many people following you and watching you, if MTV can fucking get in there,
Yeah, exactly. Well, MTV has a lot of money.
They have a lot of money, but
they're backed up by a bunch of other bigger companies.
They have a lot of money, but at the end of the day, let's be fucking realistic.
Yeah, MTV's not video games.
Yeah.
Even though they used to make,
they had a few video game shows, and apparently I think Ego Raptor for a little while.
The 90s.
They showed some of his stuff on MTV on some gamer show, and that's I think that's what kind of got him going. I think it was something like that. And not exactly, but they showed some of his videos on some MTV show, and they bleep stuff out or whatever. And then he got famous because I think he was one of the only people to first do those kind of video. They weren't called this, but basically video games in a nutshell, where you just sum it up real quickly in 30 seconds.
Mm-hmm. Well, pretty much a review that's not in a magazine.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just mean not even like that. I just mean story wise, Metal Gear Awesome or
Oh, I see what you. Okay, no,
Awesome May Cry, something like that. But anyway, we should probably talk about the actual Sacramento Comic Con, because that was my first time too, and I always wanted to go.
And
to
that was
one.
another one too. It's like the video game was the first time I ever really saw those kind of conventions. I guess I kind of knew about the comic ones. They probably came out in comics.
Yeah.
But you didn't think when you're a kid, you're like, well, that happens in New York. Like I'm gonna go to New York anytime soon.
Mm-hmm.
And the video game was the first one where you kind of like saw it on TV and stuff like that. And then once the video game kind of was shown, then they started showing, it seems like, comic ones on there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember ever seeing the comic book ones before the video game ones on TV at least.
Mm-hmm.
So ever since then, it's like that's what I want to do too. I'd love to go to one of those things or any of those kind of conventions. Just always sound cool, and just somehow, some way, they come and then they kind of go by. And sometimes if you just don't buy tickets, you kind of forget and it's over, and then that kind of thing. It's like, well, it was out of sight, kind of out of mind.
Well, this one was kind of like they almost I was almost expecting it to be a little bigger than what it was. I mean, let's be honest, it's probably bigger than what it was 10 years ago, but it was a little smaller than I was expecting because they advertise. You go to like the Sacramento Wizard Con or whatever online. They have a bunch of like Marvel comics, DC comic stuff advertising. But then when you actually go there, really when it gets down to it, I mean, they'll have like writers. Like we got to meet Neil Adams. We got to meet like Chris Claremont, a few other guys we'll get to. And that was pretty awesome. But really like representing like Marvel or DC, just representing them, there was nobody there. The biggest company I saw there was Zenoscope, the guys that do the grim fairy tales and the dark, twisted Alice in Wonderland stuff. So that was like the biggest thing that was there, which... They're there. People know of them, but they're not like Dark Horse. They're not Image,
Yeah, there's an IDW or any of those other ones in between.
Yeah, so
Oni Press, like that. That's what I was kind of expecting. I expected you were gonna go down there.
There's gonna be a Marvel booth.
And there's gonna be all these booths that you would hit up, and not only could you buy there, then they could meet some of the people that work there and so on. And that's kind of what I expected. I guess maybe a little bit more of that, and. Maybe those happen at other types of ones, because the one thing I did notice with this one is it was one of the ones. It was called Comic Con, but it really almost was like Television Con.
Well, I wouldn't even say that because here's the thing. I mean, as far as like guests go, because they had right when you walked in, Neil Adams was there, and he had a not like a huge long line, a little bit of line. People knew who he was. That was good.
Well, the
Chris Claremont.
Too, though, is like. Neil Adams was there though, but you see how many people walk past him, not even looking.
Yeah.
That was, and that's why I say that's the only thing though. It's Comic Con, but the comics are at the low end of the straw. I mean, even on the webpage, you go on there and they list every fucking like television star known to mankind that's there, and then at the very end you get artist and people like that, and there's a little bottom list. I mean, obviously Stan Lee's at the tip top. And you had, Neil Adams was pretty close up there too, and some of those guys. But a lot of the other guys they're pushed down towards the bottom.
And I'll be honest, I was pretty excited about like getting a chance to possibly meet Chris Hemsworth, Stan Lee, Bruce Campbell, Mark, the guy that plays Lex Luthor, and Smallville. He also voiced
Flash.
He voiced Flash in the animated like Justice League. Forgot his name, Mark Rosenbaum. I think Mark Rosenbaum. I believe
that's the guy.
He was there, and even Billy D. Williams. So, and there was this big like kind of these guys are there. I mean, we got to probably wait in line for a little while, but we get a chance to meet them, And then here's the thing: I never hear people talk about when it comes to Comic Con. Maybe it's just this one, which I doubt, but
I don't think that's it because it's a corporation. It's like the Wizard Con is the Comic Con
of Sacramento.
No, of all of them. It's the San Diego one. It's the New York.
Oh, I mean
ones.
I thought you meant like Wizard Con is the Comic Con, like kind of like.
No, because like that company that like the main thing that you buy like the tickets from on the website is that one does all these ones all around everywhere.
Yeah, same company, but anyway. So and I was excited, like cool, maybe we get a chance to meet Billy D. Williams or Mark, like I said earlier, Mark Rosenbaum or whatever his name is. And Bruce Campbell, which I was probably the most excited to possibly meet. And then, I know there's a line. They got the Boondock Saints and the guy that played Rocco there, too. Rocco from Boondock Saints. But unfortunately...
It's like, I don't think anybody... Now people have kind of forgotten, like, these are the Boondock Saints guys. And now they're like, it's the Walking Dead people.
Or one of them's the Walking Dead.
I thought two of them were.
I don't know if they both are. I know the guy... I know one of them is, like, a big Walking Dead guy. I don't know if the other is.
The one guy was just... It was sad because one guy had, like... 3,000 people in his fucking line all day long. The main guy of Walking Dead, which is like, it's just one of those ones that's like, In my mind, I'm like, please hope they're there because he's in the Boondock Saints. Please tell me that's why they're there. They're not. I know they're not, but yeah.
There's got to be a few
and then
people.
Then the sad thing too is then you see like, there's Billy D. Williams' line with like 6 people in it.
We didn't even get it.
I never saw him.
We never saw him there.
He must have came for like a half an hour and then like.
Well, we missed this panel. Because we were looking around for a while. We realized like, oh shit, we missed this panel because we just walked in. We're like mesmerized by the place. We didn't actually stop and look at it. But there's actually, let me get back to the thing with the stars real quick. What kind of took the real win from my sales, and like Lou Ferrigno. Yeah, Lou Ferrigno was there. And you got a chance to shake his hand.
I got a chance to shake his hand, but I think because I was like, I went to his fucking booth at like 10:05.
Yeah.
Like right in the beginning, we were walking around because just, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this. It was like, oh my god, there's Lou Ferrigno.
Setting up, like maybe 2 people in line, yeah. And then you ran up right there and you shook his hand. And I was kind of like, look, I understand if like, okay, here's my picture, I'm going to sign it for you, $10. I get that. I understand that. You like it was $20 for Neil Adams, for you and me. We split a deal. He's like, we were waiting in line. I just want to tell him I appreciate it. He's like, you're not getting nothing? Like, I thought, I can't really afford an autograph. Like, oh, you're not paying for my autograph. You're paying for a print, and I'm going to sign that. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
Or, money to get his picture. Okay, whatever. I don't need that. But, so I was like, all right, that's cool. So I did
something to take home.
Something to take home.
Like, break my bank.
Yeah, exactly. So... we did a thing where we split it, like, and I got like we had like $30.
It was $50, and we got 3 pictures.
Yeah, we split that, and that he was cool. He was a character, definitely, like he was on Fat Man on Batman. It was funny as we were walking away. He said like, "How about we get this over here?" Like, I don't got the money for that. Like, why? He's like, "Oh, I spent it on like an autograph from an actor." Like. These are the you hear him say like, actors can't fucking draw.
Like, why the fuck would you want to see an actor? They can't fucking draw.
We hear this as we're walking away.
I mean, yeah, you could just hear it through the whole room. It was just, Neil Adams.
It was awesome.
Sweet, yeah.
That was awesome. I mean, we didn't really sit there and talk to him because there was a line and he was.
Yeah, it was more like the quick, like, hey, Neil Adams, I love your stuff.
Neil, it's like, oh, that's
cool.
Great. And
I signed this. And Can I touch you? I mean, shake your hand.
Yeah, who should I make this to? My love, to Ryan's fine. He's like, what? Like, I'm just like, I touch his hand, like, please, just give me this.
Like, lean in really slow.
You're in front of his wife, who was right there.
Just right out here. Here's another $5 bill. Just put it down to like my love muffin. Neil Adams.
Right next to his.
Just do it. Fucking do it.
His wife sitting right next to him.
Yeah. Like, don't look at me.
Don't judge me.
This is all I got. You got him. This is all I can afford.
No, but like, that was like...
I got a picture where like, the whole bottom layer is Robin's bare legs. Sign it for me.
You got the Ra's al Ghul and Robin's like laying there dead. Batman's like, no! Robin's
like, this is what sex does!
but there is the, we didn't talk to him a whole lot. It was very quick in and out. I just said like, episode of Batman on Batman was like one of the best ones I've heard in a while. And he says, oh, thank you very much. It was great to be on there. And, he was very, and he like, I got a little starstruck, not too starstruck, but a little. Because there's a second picture, says, what do you want this one to be? Like, I guess to Ryan, this is like very versatile, So, I'm like, I'll figure I'd keep it easy for you. And like, I didn't really want to hold up too long, not to like put ourselves down. But there's nothing we could say this guy hasn't probably already heard of the Comic Con,
Yeah.
Then we went to go to Chris Claremont, and he was very kind of like, hey guys, it wasn't like he was a dick or nothing, but he was just kind of like, yeah, I've been here, I've done this.
It just feels like I've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, these things, you just kind of show up, you sit down, you eat a bag of chips.
It was $10 for like, I think maybe $5 to sign.
He only charged us $5.
$5 for an autograph, which is fine. I understand that.
We just had a, we ran over really quickly and bought like a, what's your fucking bag? Because we're like flipping through these comics. We're like, what's the fucking cheapest one we can get that he wrote?
Because I thought that I feel like a dumbass.
Like, well, you probably could just go in the bathroom and take some toilet paper by this notion.
Well, I feel like a dumbass because I assume maybe he just had like a slip of paper with a sketch of a character on it to like he'd sign.
Sort of like on Neil Adams, where I just had all this shit that, like he had read, even though I know he drew. But
even though he's a writer, I just assumed he would have like little like a slip of a picture of a character and he'd sign it or just something like that.
Yeah.
But like You got like a little sketch. I think he meant it as like, can you draw me a picture of Chris Claremont even though you're a writer?
Look, America's like when Ryan said it, the way you worded it just sounded like
I
you're asking him to draw a fucking sketch.
Like, that's not what I do. Like, I didn't mean it like that. I meant like I think I clarify. I mean, it won't be the first time I made an ass myself in front of a celebrity, but
but it really just sounded like you said, "Hey, how much for a sketch?" I think that's what you used.
I meant like because.
And I think when he looked at you, he was like. He's just like, you can go get a fucking comic book and get it signed. Like, I think when he looks like, this guy has no idea what the fuck I did.
I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like, I think he got the idea that I missed. Like, I think I clarified it. Said like, I mean, do you have like a piece of paper back there or something with a sketch on it or something? I just assumed that's what they have, but it made me look like fuck. I looked like an asshole in front of like the Godfather of fucking X-Men, you know? And I'm not being honest, I don't really have any. Aside from the comic I just bought, I don't have any Chris Claremont, but I know what he's done, and if you enjoy X-Men, you enjoy Chris Claremont.
Well, that's what I told you. I was like, if you've seen the animated show, those are like, almost all those episodes are based off his work.
Exactly, yeah, and I enjoyed most of the movies, and I enjoyed the cartoon, and so I think that generally if you... Yeah, pretty much most of the big stories are all his, like Phoenix Saga and all that.
Yeah, because he did it for around 35 plus year. I mean, anything from like, I think it's from like 70...
Days of Future Past.
When like the giant X-Men issue came out, when they kind of started up X-Men after it had been out for a while, all the way up to like the mid '90s, he wrote practically all of it.
Yeah, and then the Days of Future Past,
right? Which kind of went back in those days. Like, boy, if you really wanted to write X-Men, there was no fucking way you're getting in that door.
Yeah, I know. But he did Days of Future Past, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I mean, I know what I meant, but I know I made myself look like an asshole. Like shit, well, whatever. He probably gets that. He got way worse things than that in a comic convention, I'm sure. So
yeah,
I'm probably just another face gonna blend into the crowd. So nothing. I don't think he's gonna be. I think I'm out of his mind. Anyway, moving on. Then there is Ethan Van Schreef.
No, it's Ethan Van Sciver. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not
too
sure how you pronounce his last name. For the longest time, I kept saying Schreiber, but I think it's because I was just.
Schreiber?
It's not. It's Sciver. But like sometimes when you read something fast, you just kind of like. You kind of go Ethan, and then you just kind of make up the rest. VI something ER.
Yeah, and he was really cool.
I think it's pronounced Skyver. I'm not too sure.
He just signed for free. He was a guy who was just kind of cool, just sitting there talking.
He was really probably the most coolest one of them all. Because I remember like when we signed, that was the point where everybody else said like we want money, and then it was like we were kind of just standing there for a second, we're like, well, how much you want? And he's just like, it's cool, man. I signed it for you.
Yeah.
And he would talk a little bit. Where the other guys were kind of like quick to the point, and I mean, he wasn't one of those guys where like it wasn't.
He's also probably younger.
There.
He was younger.
He had a handful of people come up and say, "I want to sketch a Green Lantern or Batman or something like that," and he would draw it out.
And he'd charge for that, but just signing something.
Yeah, but just signing stuff. He just didn't feel like one of those kind of guys where it's just like, give me your money.
But to Chris Claremont, I mean,
Chris Claremont it was $5. I'm like, that makes sense.
That makes sense. Well, they probably get there themselves. They probably have their own room and board they pay for. I understand that. I understand if charging money.
I don't know if it's like kind of like the wrestler of like comic books where like you go to all these events now and obviously you're not destroying your body doing them. But
there's a sad Bruce Springsteen song playing in his head while he does this.
You ever met a one-tree pony?
You see me. Just playing Chris Claremont's head. No, he's more than that.
We also met what's his name?
Joe. He did the Wolverine miniseries. I already forgot his name.
Well, he was one of those kind of guys. I cannot tell you that I read a single one of his books.
I've seen that cover a lot.
But I've seen lots of his artwork and stuff. And now I'm just totally drawing a break and I feel horrible.
It's okay. Well, I've seen his artwork a lot. I haven't read any of his stuff.
Well, he did, like a lot of his stuff, I have a lot of his pictures somehow, some way.
Yeah. No, there was to Chris Claremont's credit, because he wasn't like, well, I'm not saying he was a dick or nothing. I understand why he's charging. But to his credit, there was actually a moment that kind of like warmed my heart a little bit. There's a little kid in front of us that went up and he's like, the kid, he said like, you read these? Like, yeah. You liked them? Like, yeah. Who's your favorite character? He's like, I think Wolverine. He's like, oh, that's nice. And the kid was giving money. He's like, no, keep it. It's fine. Like, thank you.
This kid had a $20 bill just there, and he's like, no. And there was almost actually another part I thought was even more warming, is when the kid set down the magazines there. He sat there and he just kind of like flipped through them.
Yeah.
Real slow, just like almost like he was looking through a photo album.
Yeah.
And just kind of like just looking. It was a very magical moment. Just kind of like looking at like his almost like just like looking 30 years into the past.
And then the kid goes around the corner and gives him dad's like, give it to me.
He just slaps him. No. He's like, I've been using this tactic forever. It works fucking like a charm. I pay $50 to get in here and I don't have to pay anything else afterwards.
Just send the kid up there.
I just use this love child.
No,
But the other guy's name was Joe Rubenstein.
Joe Rubenstein. Yeah,
That's what it was.
I got like a ready done sketch of Wolverine by him. Got it signed. He was like $10. That's fine. You know, that's I understand all that.
Well, because I feel like as long as you get something out of it, I think that's cool. Because I got a Thor one, which I realized with that. I opened it. I'm like, I know I've seen this Thor sketch somewhere, and I opened up like that How to Draw the Marvel book from like 1978. I'm like, oh, there it fucking is.
Yeah, and there are other people there. Like there's like an artist from The Walking Dead there. The artist from Marvel Zombies was there. I didn't really know any of their work. The guy who's working on
there was one of the cartoon. There was kind of a cool thing too. There was a card. We didn't really get talked to. But there's a guy from who did like He-Man and did a bunch of like
Garfield.
Yeah, Hanna-Barbera stuff. That one of the animators was there from that. And then one of the animators from The Simpsons was there too.
He wasn't an animator from The Simpsons. He did the comics of The Simpsons.
Oh, that's who it was. Then okay, never mind.
Yeah, and
well, that's still pretty cool too.
That's still cool. Yeah. And then there's also like somebody, I don't know what he did, if he was an inker or artist, but an inker or like penciler or whatever, but he was somebody that was working on Superior Spider-Man that was there. So, and I mean, I knew the other guys. I mean, I don't maybe have a whole bunch of their work, but I know of them. So I felt like, oh, I can get one. But I would have felt kind of like a total like phoney going to the other guys. You know what I mean?
If I went to like The Simpsons, I got like one Simpsons comic. So I would feel really weird going up to like, I mean, like, I don't think it's like a big deal. It's like, I mean, like, it's if you know kind of who it is, but.
Yeah. And, but here's the dark side of Comic Con. Because I always just assumed it would be at most 10, maybe $20 for like a signed picture or whatever. But you go Lou Ferrigno, it's money, but you shake his hand, all good. I'm hoping it was
Lou
just
Ferrigno, I think I got in there so quick that it was almost like one of those ones like, okay, well, whatever. At the beginning of the day, sure, here's a handshake. Because it kind of was one of those ones like, cause the lady was like, okay, it's $40 for a photo with him, or you can get one of these ones. It was just like, can I just shake his hand? And she just kind of did that like, yeah, sure, you go ahead. Get the fuck out of here. And then Lou Ferrigno was like, hey, Lou Ferrigno, I'm like, big fan of all your stuff. He's like, thank you. And he shook my hand, and you can see he would have been more happy probably if I had $40 in my hand, but he was nice enough just to like, go with it. Where we get to the other dark place was when we went to go meet fucking Lex Luthor.
Yeah, I was going to meet Lex Luthor. I was mainly excited.
It made me feel like we were actually meeting Lex Luthor in Metropolis, because I feel Lex Luthor wouldn't let you just come up and shake his hand without money in your hand.
Yeah. Well, I was going up to.
But I was assuming that the Wally would have came out of it.
The microphone crapped out for a second, so we recorded like there's roughly 5 minutes missing, but whatever. So we were
probably not even that much, because somehow, some way, I guess I just didn't check the memory on the microphone.
It's all good. We were talking about.
We just finished with talking about Lou Ferrigno, and as I said, Lou Ferrigno, I think I got in and was able to shake his hand because I was at the very beginning of the day. It was at that point just we got by, But next, this is the thing too. We went to go visit Lex Luthor. Michael Rosenbaum?
I think
Rosenbaum.
Mike Rosenbaum, I think.
Yeah, and he also did the Flash and Justice League show, and
he's done a handful of other things.
Doom?
He was in Justice League Doom, yeah. I think also like New Frontier, maybe. Not New Frontier. That was Neil Patrick Harris. Infinity Crisis on Two Earths or whatever.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, so we go to meet him, and it's one of those ones like, we go, okay, well, at first we're like, I don't know, should we get in line? I'm like, well, there's 3 people in line. We'll get in line, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, we can get up there.
And I know I watched Smallville. I was more excited to meet the guy who voiced the Flash. That's what I was more excited for. But plus, I grew up watching Smallville, so it's like, all right, I'm still a little interested in that aspect. And we're waiting in line. It's not even that long. There's like 2 or 3 people in front of us.
And we get right up to the lady and stuff, and she's looking, and we're like, hey, can we just get like a handshake? She's like, no, it's $40 to take a fucking picture with him, or you can take one of these pictures here, and he'll autograph it for you for $30. And we're just like, well, how about just a handshake? She's like, no, get the fuck out. Well, she didn't say fuck.
She didn't say that.
But she was like, no, you have to pay.
And it was one of those things, it was kind of like, I mean, I understand, like, walking away with something physical and charging for it. $30 for a picture seems a little extortionary, given I can get one from, like, multiple comics legends for, like, $5 to $10.
Well, I was like, we just fucking met Neil Adams not that long ago, and he charged us $15 for a piece of paper that he fucking drew at one point in time. He talked to us, he shook his hand, he autographed it, and that's Neil fucking Adams. He's been doing comics for like 50 fucking years. And it's sort of like, who the fuck are you? You're a television actor. You know what I mean? It's kind of those ones like, you didn't draw that fucking picture of the Flash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You didn't write that Smallville script. You just fucking act. You show up, you read a script that somebody else did, and you act. And who the, you know what? Here's the thing.
It pissed me
The
off.
people here are what made you who you are. Without these people, you would not have a job. You'd be working at a deli or something. Come on.
Here's the thing. I'm not going to try and defend him because I was probably, doesn't sound like right now, but at the moment, I was probably the most pissed off between the two of us.
I know, because me and I'm like, well, he did the Flash, that's cool.
Because for me, it was a double whammy. Like, oh, Flash and Lex Luthor. I mean, not the best Lex Luthor, but a Lex Luthor that I liked.
Yeah.
And but then, and we were even like 5 feet away from him. And to his credit, he seemed like a nice guy. He was talking, he was bullshitting with people after they paid 40 bucks. But it was one of those things like, now I'm really hoping it wasn't them. I'm hoping it's something the con oversees. I'm hoping it's because, like, look, we're paying you to be here, so you got to bring in money for us. I'm hoping that's the case. I'm hoping it's not him. But even that being said, what's wrong with going up to him and saying, look, I don't need a picture. I don't need to take something physical. I just want to shake your hand and tell you I appreciate your work. It's not like I had to wait a long fucking time
Well,
for it.
it's not
either.
like he's the fuck from The Walking Dead who's just up there, like, and he's got 1,000 people in line, and it's really one of those ones like, if you don't got $40, you get the fuck out.
Or-
He's probably charging more. He's probably charging 60 or something.
We even saw Bruce Campbell. We saw, like, William Shatner from a distance. We kind of saw a bunch of, like, let's go see this guy from a distance. There's William Shatner.
Yep.
There's the Shat. Then we're like, there's a...
But back to Lex Luthor really quickly, though. The whole thing is like, it's not like there's that many people in line. Is it really that big? I mean, is that extra 5 seconds it's going to take to shake someone's hand and say, hey, I liked you as the Flash?
Saw Daniel Son, saw Ralph Macchio.
I mean, what I'm saying, though, is like,
Yeah.
is that going to really affect, though?
No, it's not.
You know what I mean? Like, I can see if there's 1,000 people in your line, how you could be like, if you don't got $50, get the fuck out.
Even that, just a quick handshake. I don't see what the problem is. The guy's willing to wait that long. Quick handshake. Thank you. Next guy in line. I get that. But the whole fact of just like you got to pay that much money just for what's not really worth that much at the end of the day.
No.
And on top of that, you can get there are guys who like, you know, they I mean I'm not trying to like, you know, put one person above another person, but really in comics, when it gets down to comics, the thing we're at, Chris Claremont, Neil Adams, they all did. Ethan Van says Sciver. It's you know, the second you put a Van in front of it, it's like, what's the rest of it? You know, Ethan Van Sciver. I think they have more to contribute here than an actor that played this character
that these guys wrote
6 years ago. Yeah,
almost. You know.
So, and it's one of those things like it just kind of it's a little irritating. And plus, on top of that, like I was really looking forward to meeting Bruce Campbell. And I saw his line. I'm like, well, I could possibly wait that long. And there's luckily somebody in front like. How much is it to just get a picture or get an autograph from Bruce Campbell? Like, oh, that's like $50 or something. I was like, are you kidding me? You know, so and that's the stuff I never hear about when people talk about comic conventions. I've never
met that many people that actually went to them. I've only met a handful, strangely enough. Because most people always know, like, oh, I always want to go to that, but then they never have.
And then we went to.
But that's something I've never heard though. Like nobody ever told me that. Like, oh yeah, like somebody should have been like, here's a fucking forewarning. People there are going to be wanting to take all your money.
Well, here's another thing. When we went there, we said like, well, let's try and catch a panel. Like, well, there's the Stan Lee panel, and we heard while we were waiting in line, Stan Lee was sick. I'm going to be there till tomorrow. I was like, God damn it. But then like, well, let's just sit down for a second. There's a preview for the CW show. Let's see what this is all about. Because we already missed the Billy D. Williams panel, which that would have been awesome, but whatever. Bad luck. And so we were sitting, it was called The 100, and we were sitting the first like 10, 12 minutes, I'm like, we just need to rest our legs in this dark room watching this show. Just like, we just looked at each other like, you guys want to get out of here? This is like...
It was just... And the funny thing is, I've seen that trailer for that 100 show on like Arrow, because they'll play it every once in a while there. And on the trailer, it doesn't actually look that bad. But they don't show any of the talking, I guess, is the whole thing. They just show, like, you know, this spaceship crashes on the planet, you know, and these guys got to survive, and there's all this shit going on. And it kind of looked like, oh, that looks kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. But this was just more CW bullcrap.
I was kind of waiting to see what happens. Once they jumped out of the spaceship onto the ground and started playing that Imagine Dragons song, I feel it in my soul, welcome to the new world. Once they started playing that fucking song, I was like, I'm fucking done. And then, like, just 5 minutes after being out of the spaceship, these 26-year-olds playing 15-year-olds are already like swinging dicks at each other. Just like give it time, let a character build up. But no, fuck it.
No, they just
do it right now.
Like, it's just that bad. Like it's made for like 15-year-old girls type shows, or it's just like it's just a bunch of high school problems, which not even a regular high school even has that much like shit going on in it.
Yeah,
that stuff happens maybe like twice a year.
So the one panel we did manage to make it to, we wanted to try and get to the animated one, the animated like Grimm Fairy Tales one, which I was curious mainly because it's made by the guys who did Metalocalypse. That was the thing that I was curious about. I'm not that big a fan of the Grimm Fairy Tale stuff. There's some stuff that's cool, but overall it's like kind of whatever. But the Metalocalypse thing is kind of what sold me. We didn't get a chance to see that. The line for that was kind of long, and so was the Shatner line. So Pat missed out on that too. But we did manage to get into the Bruce Campbell one. And even though I was a little let down to how much I had to pay to see him, once again, I'm hoping that's the con, not them. Yeah. His was really cool because we actually, what he did is he pulled different people up from the audience and he would ask questions and just, like, what are you? You have to entertain us. And he was being pretty funny. He was being a pretty good.
It was like a stand-up comedy show. That's what made it cool.
Mm-hmm. At some point, he brought like a 10-year-old kid up to the seat and was like, the kid was dressed up like.
Well, he brought like a kid and like a stripper and like a theater actor up there.
The theater actor was dressed up like Spider-Man, and it was a pretty funny show. It was pretty good. And before that, there is like a girl that was dressed like an Evil Dead dress, and people that just were fans there, just hanging out, and that was actually pretty funny. That was a big highlight for the show.
Well, that one kind of worked out for us too because we didn't get seats, but like it was that thing where it's like, well, you don't have seats, but you can go stand up in the front.
Yeah, so we were pretty close to Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, so that's cool. Like that always kind of is cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was one of those ones I enjoyed the comic book convention.
I enjoyed it for the,
but like I guess it was like maybe I was just expecting slightly different things, and I kind of felt like once you paid $50, it like unless you wanted to take home a souvenir, you really got the full experience. But it's like that's not really the case. $50 just opens the door for you.
I walked away with, I spent more money than I planned on just because that's the spirit of the place, buy a lot of shit, which I haven't bought a whole lot of anything lately, so I just kind of kicked in, almost the best thing to do is like buy little things, little by little. Don't save your money for a long time and then walk into like Candyland. You gotta...
Yeah, if you buy little things every once in a while, you don't get that like super urge to spend the second that you buy one or two things.
I bought a few podcasts ago, maybe last podcast, like I don't really buy action figures and like that anymore, but like there's this really cool Dark Knight Returns figure. Those reasonably priced. Everything it was like $7 more expensive than anywhere else, but this one was actually reasonably priced. I'm like, all right, well, I'll get that. That's pretty cool looking. And I bought, got some autographs from like the different like comic book artists and writers, so that was pretty awesome. But generally, I was a little disappointed that there weren't more like the big comics weren't there. Then I expected they'd have a booth advertising whatever just came out, but it was really just a bunch of different websites and comic book distributors there. Just like
it was kind of like a giant flea market, really. When it gets down to it, yeah, it was a flea market of comic books. I mean, there's people there even selling like used VHSs and stuff.
That was one place, yeah. That was like one guy. It was like a B-horror place, and I guess they're a local place in town. They had like other stuff, but they were selling like B-horror VHSs. It was just like, the fuck is this?
Well, I mean, like, because a lot of the stuff it felt like you're going to a flea market, maybe a little bit nicer than a regular flea market, but that's how
more expensive.
Yeah, definitely way more expensive. Because a lot of the stuff there, it's like you look at it and you're like, that's cool. Keep a mental memory, and then I'll go on eBay later and pay a 2/3 the price less.
Some of the shit I saw, it's just kind of like, okay, I'm expecting things to be $5 more expensive, but I mean, I wouldn't really buy these things. But there is like, I've seen them around other places. Like they had Walking Dead figures there, and so it depends on what booth you go to. Like Walking Dead figures, I remember seeing because I think I've seen them at GameStop. I want to say the price tag.
Talking about those like weird, like
not like the cute kind of like big head, small body ones.
I don't even consider those cute. They're just weird fucking looking. They look like little like alien things looking at you. The ones they sell at 7-Eleven.
The pop figures.
Yeah, that's what those they are.
Well, they're aiming for the cute, the big head, small bodies. Like not even not those ones. I mean, they had a bunch of those. Those are like at every fucking stand. The pop figures. Yeah. They have like everything from like Sonic the Hedgehog and like Disney to like any comic book character and slasher films and Walking Dead and Game of Thrones, whatever the fuck you could think of. They probably have one for political figure somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, I saw those everywhere, but no, just your standard like detailed Walking Dead figures. I remember seeing like a few of those at GameStop, and
oh yeah.
Offhand, I want to say I remember a price tag of like $12 or $13, whatever. Now, I went there, and I would see those same exact figures for like $20. I'm like, look, I understand you guys had to pay some money, and you got to make some money back to get in here, but $20, do you think standard people are going to pay $20 for like this figure they can get outside for like $12?
Well, I just think that, like, okay, it's not like you're selling this to, like, people in Walmart. It's like, these people... I assume that most people that go to Comic Con are a little bit more internet savvy.
Yeah.
They kind of would get that a lot of this stuff's, like, overpriced.
There's one I went to...
It's even, like, the clothes stuff there, too. Because I remember, like, there was a Jurassic Park jersey. I'm like, I just gotta see how much that fucking is. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, this could probably be $45, $50, you know. And the guy, I asked the guy, he's like, oh, 140. And it's like,
suck a dick.
Yeah, literally. It's like, fuck that. Mm-hmm. It's not that cool.
Yeah. And then there's also, because a standard jersey, that's like $40, $50 usually, 30 maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't really bought a jersey in a long time.
Like, I bet you if you went to like one of those, if you went to like the NHL store and you went to buy a jersey of like, you know, a hockey player, I bet you they charge you $150 at one of those places.
Really?
Yeah, because one time I went with Cisco once and he went to like the fucking like
NFL one.
Yeah, and those jerseys are all like $110, $120 for those things. Like, Jesus fucking 110. Christ.
I guess I'm thinking maybe Walmart prices.
Yeah, you're thinking like a Walmart jersey so that you could go out and play like tackle football in the yard.
I haven't really bought like a jersey in a long time. Like I said, you've been listening to this podcast long enough. You know, I don't give a shit about sports too much.
Well, yeah, but there's a Jurassic Park logo on it. That kind of changes everything.
Yeah.
But not for $140.
I know, and there's some of the shirts. They had some really cool, like, hard to find shirts there, and some cool posters. But overall, I mean, the posters weren't too expensive.
Well, the posters were actually one of the few things that were actually like extremely cheap. Yeah, not reasonably priced, extremely cheap in a sense.
Yeah, and
but at least for most of them, some of them were a little bit more.
There's one stand I went to because there's a lot of just like selling action figures. Mm-hmm. So there's and like you know selling comics, and I didn't really even buy any real comics just because I bought individual issues to get signed, but beyond that, and they're cheap. But beyond that though, the comics, there was like a few stands where the comics were reasonably priced, but I was like, I can get those outside. I want to get something I can only get here.
Yeah.
So I would get some like special custom made like artwork that someone did or something from an actual artist, like a comic book artist. Like I got this really cool like independent like picture this guy did in his own style, his own weird cartoony style of like Dark Knight Returns. Mm-hmm. I wish I had like, I'll try and say the website next time because he had some pretty cool pictures. But anyway, there was one. It was just like, are you fucking serious? Do you really? How do you? These people are a little smarter than this. Do you really fucking think they're gonna pay this much? There was. I don't know how rare this figure was, but there was some kind of. It wasn't Sinestro. It was some big guy. But it was like a yellow. He was in a Yellow Lantern outfit. He was an alien. He was out of his box and he was missing a leg. Now he was a little bigger than your standard figure. But you just heard what I just said. That $35.
Yeah.
It's like, go choke on a dick. No one is gonna fucking pay. No one in the right mind.
Some of those things can be worth actually lots of money, and even
missing
if
a leg.
No, there's some of that stuff can be depending on like if they didn't make very many of them or something like that. A lot of times they don't have to always be in mint condition to be worth something. I mean, it's like one's like I couldn't tell you on that one. So.
Yeah.
That because there is something there's been action figures that, like the Stretch Armstrong had like these partner figures or whatever.
I remember those, yeah.
That like they only sold like 500 of them for 5,000.
I remember the commercial for those.
No, these are the 70s ones, not the modern ones. And some of those are worth like if you have just like the head, it's worth a couple $100.
You're kidding me.
I'm not kidding you.
I guess people want to reassemble them or something like that.
It's just because there's like now since most people break them and they throw them out and so on and so on, there's less and less and less and less. And in the world, it's like there's only maybe 50 of them left.
Yeah.
So that can happen.
It looks more like a recent one or something. Maybe.
But lots of those, like sometimes like some of those, like the only thing about superhero stuff though is they make a lot of figures of those, so it's kind of hard to tell.
I mean, there was some stuff that was actually pretty cool, and I wouldn't really spend that much money on any of it, but like, I mean,
well, a lot of things I think they're cooler just to kind of look at and be like, oh, sweet, look at there's animated Batman series action figures, or there's X-Men from like the 90s and whatnot, and some old stuff, and I could see like going there if you were into collecting comics. Because there was tons of comic books from, like, you know, the 50s on up that you could just buy for, like, a couple bucks a piece. And you could see going in there and really, like, filling out your collection if that was what you were doing. That made sense to me there. And because really, it's hard to go out and find just, you know, comic books from the olden days. It's not the easiest thing, especially when they're in good condition, bag and board, and so on. Mm-hmm. So I could see if that was your thing, which that's probably, like, the original idea of a comic book convention.
Yeah, like
that's there.
the other thing I was really looking forward to, which was a little bit of a letdown, but the other thing I was really looking forward to was, it sounds like we're bitching a lot. I actually really did enjoy my time. I'd like to do it again. I don't feel like I need to go to every single comic convention whenever one's happening after going to this one, but I would like to go to another comic convention again because it was a fun time. But I was a little disappointed the lack of independent stuff because it felt like some of there's some stuff that I understand. They're getting their foot up. They're trying to get out there. Yeah. But some of the independent comics that were there just, it was like almost feel like we could have set up a booth, really.
Well, yeah, I liked some of the independent stuff, and some of it was just very like. Don't get me wrong. That's smart. Like I always think signs like when you're in high school, it's like that would have been smart, even though your stuff might not look that great. If you put a booth up there and you could raise that money to do it, why not? Why not? That's just a good experience. But sometimes you do kind of look at that. You kind of go, oh, this is nice,
There's every so often, some of them were understanding about it, but every so often there would be guys that were kind of like a little
they're pushing,
guilt tripping and pushing you about it. Like there's one, I don't remember the name of the comic, and I got their card. I'm going to actually check it out online. But I remember staying there, and I was flipping through their book, and the book wasn't really even. Look, my Grit comic, it's scratchy, it's messy, there's spelling errors. I'm aware of that. I know I cannot really charge money for that. Mm-hmm. But it was a learning process. Like, fuck, I made it, might as well post it online. Yeah. Now, this, though?
Top it off, first off, the first thing I noticed in it more than anything else is, like, it looked like it was just drawn with a bunch of, like, markers you would have used in, like, grammar school.
Like, the actual drawings themselves weren't that bad. It was just more than any... they weren't amazing, but they weren't bad.
No, it was good enough to, like, take that. I'm not saying it was, like,
But it was more like they colored it in with markers, and then they didn't really take it into like any kind of like Photoshop or Manga Studio or nothing. They just like copied it and printed out more of them. And it was just like, that's the most you got. And they just stapled them together. Like, this is an independent comic set right here in Sacramento and yada yada yada. I'm like, okay, well that's cool. you guys got a card? I'll check out the card. Well, $4 for $3 for one comic, $5 for the first two. And like a preview of the third one when it comes out. Like, well, I'm a little like pressed for money right now, so I'll take the card and I'll check it out. Well, I want to let you know, this is a first edition limited thing. It's only going to be at this Comic Con. This could be worth something in a good couple of years. I didn't have the heart to tell them, no, I don't know. I wish you guys the best. I don't wish anything bad towards your comic, but really... I just looked at it.
Yeah, it's like, don't fucking insult my intelligence.
Yeah, and he was almost being kind of like, just very, not very like, hey man, just so you know, it's like, no, this will be worth something. Just almost kind of like,
And it's one of those ones like, nah. I think it's sort of 20 years, before computers sort of, or at least computers were the main thing.
I get it.
You could totally get away with doing that and being there. But now it's like one of those ones like, you cheap fuck, go out and get yourself the fucking program. It doesn't cost that much money.
Maybe it's part of the theme of there's one actually paid.
Well, some people like that. Like, yeah, lots of people go like, yeah, well, I'm trying to be rebellious. Lots of times it's more like, no, you're just trying to be cheap and you don't want to learn. That's lots of times what you're telling me when like you say that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Mostly when people use the word like being rebellious, that's like a word. That's like how you back up not having as much skill or not putting as much money down.
There's one that came out. It was actually, and I'm easy to guilt trip into getting shit, I guess, but there's one, it was like...
because I'm really good at, like, I'm gonna go check out something else, and then, like, you're kind of stuck there, like, the guy's like, give me your $5 now.
Okay, well, this one, I was interested in this, but it was a little bit of kind of like, the fuck, once I got it, but it was like...
It had a nice twist at the end where there was a good, like, fuck.
This M. Night Shyamalan twist to his speech, which was kind of like... I don't remember the name of it, I gotta read it still.
You even forgot you bought it, like, 3 times. Every time we came back to the car, you're like... Fuck, I bought this? Damn it.
Well, it was more like, I wasn't that down, but it was more one of the, on top of the things I bought, like the different sketches from the big artists.
That $5 could have went in Bruce Campbell's pocket instead.
Not Bruce Campbell's pocket. But I'd pay $5 for an autograph of Bruce Campbell. Yeah. Fuck, even fucking Lex Luthor, Flash, whatever, But, that right there was, shit, what was I saying? Yeah. He said like, it's an independent comic. It's, I want to say there's some independent.
And this was another Sacramento one too.
And then he said it's all about like this punk rock community, and it's like different anthology It's a big anthology of different stories.
The way he explained to it, it really lost me when he's like, yeah, it's all about like life and friendship and love. I'm like, this sounds fucking gay.
Well, I was just like, all right, well, I'll check it out, And it was like $5. It was like one of the first things we stopped at. So it was like I was kind of trying to get in the spirit, like, okay, let's see what happens, So $5.
And this one was actually like, it looked like
it looked professional.
It looked independent, but it looked professional. It didn't look like the guy fucking colored with markers and had like a 15-year-old be his artist and so on.
There's different types of art styles in there, and there was like, some of it had like, I just flipped through it, some of it had like kind of like a Brian Lee O'Malley look to it. Some of it had kind of like
I think this
cyanide and happiness look to it, which that's very simple, but that works. It varied and in the different styles. And I want to say there's like probably 7 different stories in there from just flipping through it.
Yeah, I think it was like 7 different artists and storytellers and what have you.
So as soon as I shook his hand, I'm like, oh, can I get an autograph by you? Since he's still like, well, I didn't actually write it.
Or draw it, or do anything. I'm just a guy who kind of brought this together. And you're just kind of like...
Oh. I'll sign it, though. He signed it. Like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I was just like, you cheap fuck. Well, to me, it's... I guess when I'm at a comic book convention, I kind of expect you to either be the writer, or the artist, or the inker.
Even the other guys are like, okay, well, I'll check
but
I
like,
took
if
the
you're
card.
Like, if you're just the fucking distributor of it, it's kind of like, no.
Well, even like the other guys, there's the art, there's like...
The Marker Boys?
The Marker Boys, just called that. No, like, I went to shake their hands, like, I took the card, like, I'm not gonna buy the thing, and like, you can tell one of the guys was pissed off about it, but I was like...
Well, because there's like fucking like Carrot Top was standing there.
Well, that guy was fine. It was the other guy.
Oh, yeah, the other guy was the pushy
The other
one.
guy kind of leaned in, he looked all shady, he was dressed in dark.
He must have worked at GameStop or something.
He was honing them GameStop skills,
Yeah.
If you pre-order now, you'll get like a 12-inch figurine for like $80.
I learned how to sell stuff at GameStop by telling you it's going to be worth something when it's totally not.
Yeah. But, I don't know. Maybe it's cool. I don't know. I'll never fucking know. But anyway, so...
I'm just going to assume no, but I don't know. He was too pushy.
So, and I understand they're trying to sell a thing and they got to make their money back. And they even try to give you the sad spiel of just like, oh, well, we're just trying to break even is all we're trying to do. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to take the card. Well, I'll check out the website online,
You're going to take your 3-cent card.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, put you farther in debt.
Be grateful. I'm not trying to be like, be grateful I graced your present. Nothing saying that. I'm just like, be grateful I'm willing to go check it out because I am planning on checking it out tomorrow. Yeah. But I got shit to do today. But I'm planning to
check out my leisure.
I'm probably gonna go like tomorrow. I'm probably gonna go like take all the different cards I got from the different like independent people and just go online and check it out. Mm-hmm. There's one that like there's that guy. There's one that kind of caught my... It looked like he was an in-between like independent and like the big boys, which was... I don't remember the name of his stuff, but it looked kind of like a Zenescope type of thing with kind of like alternate... I'm sure he had his own original stuff in there, but it was like a Western version of Wizard of Oz, which I'm curious about.
That one was kind of... That was kind of... I can't remember what it's called. It's like... I want to say it was like Oz in the Wicked West or something like that.
I believe it was something like that. And he had like a Joan of Arc, like a steampunk Joan of Arc... Angel Hell story, which is kind of interesting.
So it had like there was interesting stuff there, and that was one of those ones where that was like an almost a buy. But then I kind of was like, well, at the same time, I feel like, well, that almost feels like something I could get on Amazon. Once again, I want to get something that I know for a fact I can't. I mean, obviously, you could get the guy's autograph. It was the writer was sitting right there, and he was a nice, friendly guy, and he wasn't pushy.
He wasn't pushy. He seemed pretty.
He wasn't trying to tell us that this thing was going to be worth something someday.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm willing to actually give that thing a chance. I almost bought one, but then I just kind of like I'm still kind of like,
yeah. Well, I remember like every time we'd come up to it, be like, hey guys, you want to chip and buy? I'm like, well, let's contemplate our money first.
Yeah, well, because it was one of those things we'll look around first, and then come back around. Because the only real big one I saw there was Zenescope, which that surprised me. I was expecting a little bit more, and I think that's the only official like comic book company aside from that one guy who he was still independent, but not really like. Not the other guys, not like, local artists trying to sell something. You have local people that were like, they did like fan art of a bunch of different like, a bunch of fan art of different like comic book and anime, video game characters, and that was all really cool. But once again, it was that stuff. It's kind of like, there's so much of it, you're trying to.
There's so much, and it is really cool. Don't get me wrong.
And I got one of them. I did get one. of those.
Well, there's some of them that I think the ones that are always the cooler ones are the ones that look a little bit more unique. Mm-hmm. The ones that kind of just look like anybody's Wolverine and stuff like that. Those are the ones I always kind of look at like, well, I could do that too. I could just copy a picture of Wolverine, fucking color it in, and slap it up on my wall, and it'd be the same thing. I guess when I look at those, I like when I see one where, like, the Dark Knight one you got, where it's like, the guy had a creative twist on it. Like, the characters kind of looked like...
They looked like they're drawn the way in Venture Brothers. That's what they looked.
Yeah, so, like, and, like, that's cool. I think that's cooler was when they kind of got that.
Mm-hmm. They had like a bunch of Pulp Fiction, Quentin Tarantino ones.
Yeah, a bunch of movie ones.
It had like Japanese writing all over it. It was really.
Yeah, there's a bunch of cool stuff.
And there, it's not like there's a bunch of stuff there. I
got those people. Like, there's all these cool people. We don't remember their names or anything like that.
I didn't bring the cards with me. I'll check out the stuff. The stuff I really like about, I'll talk about maybe in the next podcast or podcast after. But yeah, it was overall a pretty good experience. So,
it was pretty cool. I do think that the only thing is. And I almost wish there was like somebody would have told you this, but maybe there's like this like secret you don't tell. Maybe we're breaking it by explaining it, or maybe just everybody's.
Comic Con.
Are people just comfortable with this? Like I guess that's how it is. I mean, I ever heard people like that were like younger than us be like, "Oh my god, I just spent $500," and it's just like, spent $500. It's like Jesus Christ! I spent $50 to get the ticket. And I only brought $50 because I want to make sure I didn't spend any more than that.
I bought like I probably spent about $110 when I think not including the ticket because I already paid for the ticket before we got in there. But once we got in there,
I'm not including the food either.
Or the food, I probably spent about $110 when I was in there, and that's more than I wanted to spend. But whatever.
That's still not too bad. But like, I do just think that the idea that you spend $50, like it's that kind of thing. Like you forget you spend that $50 almost right away, and then you're in there, and then everyone wants more money from you. I think that's kind of like a little much, I will say.
I was partway expecting that. I was not expecting actors, especially like.
Well, I just thought that I thought you could really.
Let's Flash Luthor.
I thought you could buy a ticket and you could go in there all day long and really actually not spend a single dime as long as you didn't want to take anything home. Like I thought you could go in there and you could meet everybody you wanted, shake hands. I thought you could even just get like regular autographs. Like if you had a notepad, you could get autographed in that. And that would all be free. Because you spent $50 to get in here.
Your old childhood Disneyland autograph. Like, all right, that's Mickey, that's Goofy.
Yeah.
Okay, Neil Adams, right here, right next to Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, exactly. I thought you could do that. And then if you say you're like, oh, okay, then I want a Neil Adams picture for me to sign. Well, I could buy that there. Or say if you went in there and you took in all your comic books, you could get them all autographed, and it really wouldn't cost anything too much extra. Because I always say, once again, you spent $50 to get in there. And really, the comic book guys were all fine. Those aren't the ones that are the problem. It's really
Ethan Van Sciver was probably the nicest one, I'd say.
Yeah, he was one. He was like the nicest one. I think the other guys are just.
They were all fine.
I think they're just older and just like we've just done this a lot.
I didn't talk to any.
Where Ethan's like he's done it probably for 15 years.
Superior Spider-Man, didn't see him just because I haven't read that comic and I haven't really.
Well, I'm just waiting for them to ask what's your favorite part about the Superior Spider-Man?
That's the thing I'm afraid of. That's the thing I was afraid of.
And it's just like
where Peter becomes, where Lex Luthor, or not Luthor, Otto Octavius takes over Peter Parker's brain.
He's like, that was a good issue too.
Yeah. What else? The part when he swings in and kicks that one guy. He hasn't done that yet.
You don't know. You never read my shit.
Be gone!
I don't know why I expect more animosity of comic book writers than I do of musicians and like other celebrities.
I don't know. I don't think that you generally ever would get the question, what's your favorite part? Maybe your favorite character or something.
But it's weird though, because I remember you meet somebody like Christopher Titus, and I felt more comfortable kind of like talking to Christopher Titus, I felt like he does comedy, we do comedy. He does a podcast, we do a podcast, you know what I mean? And even like with Wednesday 13, it's just like, it felt like, maybe because it was a smaller event, and it's just, even though he's Wednesday 13, he felt very down to earth. When you're in a comic book convention, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because there's all this other stuff going around, and you feel like you're kind of pressured, hurry it up.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just, I guess because these people aren't public. You see Wednesday 13 all the time. Mm-hmm. You see and hear Christopher Titus all the time. None of these guys I've actually really ever seen or heard, excluding Neil Adams on Fat Man and Batman. I could not tell you really what Chris Claremont looked like, what he sounds like, but I think that's what makes it weird, because it's like, you know him from a fantasy world that almost doesn't exist in real life. And there you meet this guy who's
just imagine
the
Chris Claremont. You just imagine he just looks like Cyclops or something.
Yeah, you almost don't know. Maybe he just looks like an X-Men character, for all I know. So I think that's what makes it sort of because I remember just getting up there, it's just like, I like your work. Thanks.
I was
my book.
He was even when I kind of like fucked up and stuff.
It's like I almost didn't like no. It sounds so weird, but I think it's the fact that you've never seen or heard these people. Mm-hmm. I think that's why Neil Adams felt a little bit more comfortable. Mm-hmm. Strangely enough, from the Fat Man on Batman. Because like I already kind of knew like his personality going in.
Yeah, and plus he was a very kind of like, I don't mean this in a bad way. He's a very loud guy, and he has a lot of like character, and you know what I mean. He has a lot of like he has a lot of charisma. Yeah. So but that's not in any way bad when I said loud. He leaves a mark. You know, he was a pretty cool guy when we met him.
And I think then again I think many things like this like. When we met Christopher Titus, he didn't say, "Hey, give me fucking like $20 so I can take your picture," just because, and you already paid $35 to get in the show.
Yeah.
You know, did Wednesday 13 ever do that? No, you know what I mean. He said he'd autograph anything you wanted.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing those guys are already paid by the time they get in there.
Well, I wonder if the one thing I do wonder is like
by commission.
Now let's take somebody like Chris Claremont. I wonder if how much he does get paid to come in there. I mean, he's got a little booth. You know, he sits there at a table. He does
a sign that's written with a marker.
Yeah.
Which I'm not complaining about that, but everybody else is like this big Photoshop picture of like this actor, you know, like Ralph Macchio, whoever. And saw him from a distance. Just saw a lot of famous people from a distance.
That was good enough. It was just like, well, that's
there they are
saving $40.
Yeah. There's Daniel's son. You know.
Yeah. And it's just one of those ones like I just kind of wonder. It's like I mean, does Ralph Macchio get paid a bunch of money to show up there anyways?
Does the Mach get paid much?
Yeah, who knows?
I know that's really bad. I've been waiting to use that for like 2 fucking years.
You know, or do they show up and do they have to pay $1,000 like everybody else, and then they have to try to make that money back, and that's why they charge so much?
Maybe. If I had to guess, you know what? If I had to guess, because they were in a separate part, because all the celebrities were on the far side of the building. I'm almost kind of imagining they paid for.
Sadly enough, the comic book writers and drawers were not in that same category. They had to be put with everybody else.
If I had to guess, I might be 100% wrong here, but if I had to guess, all the TV personalities and actors, they were all probably paid to be there. Where Chris Claremont and anybody else who worked in comics, they got paid a smaller wage. Yeah, but I can see them possibly like. Maybe
they don't get paid, but maybe they get like slightly a free ticket.
Yeah,
like that's kind of it's like we're not really gonna pay you, but you can come down here, or they get paid very little. Like here's $500 to show up, or something like that.
I wanted to actually talk about something that happened right before we actually walked through the door, which this in itself is kind of a funny story. But as we were walking in, this guy stops us. My first initial reaction is like, oh, this guy's the last airbender. But then he's like...
he's just a regular fucking monk.
It's like, oh, you know?
And this guy, like, okay, there was a line moving. He could have stopped anybody. But what he just looks at me, he's like, hey, you look like Jesus. He didn't say it like that. He's like, hey, you look like Jesus. You know, here, have some books. And he just starts handing us fucking books, and they're like in our hands.
They're like thick books.
They're big fucking textbooks. And the first thing I'm thinking like is like, we just fucking got here. We're going to be here for like 12 fucking hours. The last thing I want to do is carry around a hardbound book. Yeah. That's not fucking Batman.
And he's like, well, you should because it's going to a good cause and this and that, yada, yada, yada. And, you know, these books, like look, all right. And it was almost kind of like, I felt kind of like, look, here's $2 for you to go away. I didn't say that, but that's almost kind of what it was meant to be. It's like, look, you can keep the book. Because he was almost actually following us. I'm like,
yeah, and he was like, he's like, not much, you know. Couple dollars here and there helps. I just want you to spread the word. It was just like really was like, no, here, you take the books. We don't even fucking want the books. Let me explain this right off the bat. You keep the books. We got shit to do.
Well, he's like, well, they give you bags in there for being a guy who's
he turned to me like, I never got one of those fucking bags. This whole time I thought about that. I kept going throughout the day like, where the fuck are those bags that monk told me about? Fucking prophecy. I'm glad I didn't take his books.
The false prophet monk.
Yeah. It was just one of those ones, and then he's like at the very end, he's like, well, here you go. I got a small one for you. Let me open my monk backpack.
Goes on traveling wheels.
Yeah. Fucking lazy ass monk. Like, you better go out and get one of those poles and put like the 2 water like.
Well, they idolize an 800-pound guy that sits under a fucking tree all day. So what are you gonna expect?
And then he gave you this book. It was just like a bunch of like naked dudes on the cover.
No, so I handed him $2.
They have towels on.
I'm like, I hand him like $2. just to kind of like, all right, yeah, well, here's something for your cause. You're willing to hand us these books, so clearly this money is going to something, I guess. Buddhism, I got no real problem with it.
Catch him later on, he's like fucking in like the Starbucks, he has something like your $2. You're like, that motherfucker, he scammed me.
Yeah, he's been like, just like living like fucking like King Tut or something off $2. $2. No, but he's like I'm just like, here's $2. Just you don't gotta give me nothing. Here's just $2 to help your cause. Good luck. Well, let me give you a book anyway. He just gives me like a smaller one. I'm like, all right, I'll take this. I look at the book as I'm walking away. It's just kind of like looking at it. Now it's like, all right, it's kind of like it's supposed to show the life cycle. It shows someone being born, getting older, dying, then kind of like in a loop, just kind of like that. But if you just blatantly look at it, take a first glance,
like, I've seen the
it
Lion
looks
King.
like a bunch of If you look at it at first glance, it just looks like a bunch of naked dudes standing in a circle.
Well, it's like at first you had it in your back pocket, and it was just like their heads and chests were poking out.
So it looked like a mini,
grandpa gay porn,
like a Penny Dreadful, like grandpa gay porn, like stick out of my back pockets. I'm like, fuck, I've been walking around with this all day. So
no wonder nobody else has stopped me since then.
So and then I just flipped it upside down, like, okay, just showing the barcode now. Good.
The barcode on this. That was funny.
And then you were getting stopped every 5 seconds for your Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I was getting stopped for a while, and then like the Clockwork Orange. Then after a while, like the only time people, like older people, because Chris Claremont pointed it out, and then the guy at like the cafe thing across the street pointed it out, and then there's the dude the other guy who had like a Clockwork Orange shirt, and he was like, "Yeah, bro,
every time
Clockwork Orange, man, fucking yeah."
Every like pass him every so often.
Yeah,
like,
he was like the one like skater stoner or whatever that like him and his buddy showed up to
there. He was wearing a Clockwork Orange shirt too. It was a different type, but he was wearing one.
He was wearing one, but I think it was like sort of like it was kind of weird. I don't think it was an actual Clockwork Orange shirt. I think it was a skateboard shirt that had the look of a Clockwork Orange on it.
Oh, okay.
Because you know, like that's another thing I've always had a problem with skating companies because everything they have is not original whatsoever, but they just change it enough so they can just resell it.
Yeah. Like Clockwork Half Pipe or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like Alex like grinding down like a set of rails.
Yeah, it was something like that. I could tell it wasn't like an official Clockwork Orange shirt. It wasn't an exact movie one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Because first I was like, wait a second, I can't just wear any T-shirt here. I gotta find something else. I'm like, oh, I got this retro Clockwork Orange shirt. I'll wear that.
Yeah.
Close enough to Old Man Orange. that's sort of where Old Man Orange derives from. Is from Clockwork Orange.
We're bouncing between like somehow like Clockwork Orange. I don't know how it was like we were mixing words around like Clockwork Orange, Gears of War, I don't know, and like eventually just like everything ends up kind of Clockwork.
We were just like looking at like your posters and your movies,
DVDs, and just like the Old Man Orange just came together.
Yeah, we saw like Clockwork Orange, and then I remember like it was like it sounds weird, but it was like old school, old, and then we're like
Old Man Orange.
Yeah, and then there's a Neil Young is like old man Orange.
Yeah. I think that's how it came out. Something around that. We were playing with Gears of War for a second, but every time we give like everything just sounds like Clockwork Orange, Clockwork Orange, you know.
Gears of Clockwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, but the orange kind of like that. Mm-hmm. And the other cool thing about it though is like I do like it's cool seeing the people dress up, you know, because you always kind of wonder how many people are going to dress up. I was assuming like it's probably like 10% of people dress up.
I was surprised how many fucking Ash Ketchums I saw.
And I was really surprised there too. I was like, you see one and it's like, well. Yeah,
there's a couple Misties. If there's an Ash Ketchum,
there was a lot. There must have been some Halloween costume that came out. There was a real simple one that kind of just said like, here's gloves, a vest, and a hat. And then because a lot of people did kind of have like the cheap like Halloween costume. Well, they're not cheap. Mm-hmm. The expensive as fuck, but the material's really cheap Halloween costumes.
There are some pretty cool costumes there, and there's like a. I'm surprised kind of like how people get creative with the Boba Fett's one. They just don't have a normal Boba Fett. It'll be like a special. Like, there's like a Wolverine Boba Fett, like Boba Fett with Wolverine color scheme and like the claws.
Yeah.
And like have the little like fins of the mask and all that. And there's also like there's a bunch of them. There's just like kind of like a whole squad of just like different Boba Fetts.
Yeah, there's a lot of Boba Fett's. There was a girl dressed up as Morgan from like Darkstalkers that did a really good job.
Yeah, really pretty girl, really pretty Asian girl dressed up like Rogue.
Yeah, it was like 90s Rogue.
Yeah. Mm.
But there's a lot. There's a guy, RoboCop guy.
That guy was really good. After a while though, I'm not trying to be a dick here. I don't know because we're just kind of complaining about a lot of things. But there's some people like near the end of the show, near the end of the thing, like okay, and they stop and they take a picture. It's just like. All right, just real quick, all right? And it's just like...
Don't fucking wear the costume if you don't like getting pictures taken.
You wore this for a reason. Don't lie to yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you want your vanity level to go up.
Yeah. The RoboCop one looks really good, though.
Then there's I remember Daredevil, or not Daredevil, but nobody dressed up as Daredevil.
I saw your Daredevil shirt.
Yeah, well, yeah, but sure, but not like
not a full-on Daredevil.
Yeah, like I almost don't count them unless they're like a full costume. Like I don't count like when somebody like has a Batman shirt on, wears a mask, and like has a cape, and it's like not enough, like a cheap cape. It's like yeah, it's more just like you have a fancy version of a regular like clothes.
It was there's like 3 or 4 real Batmans. Lots of Deadpools.
There actually wasn't as many Batmans as I thought, but I think the whole thing was that everybody probably goes like, well,
there's gonna be a bunch.
Everybody's gonna be a Batman. Why,
There are 3 or 4 Batmans, and ironically, it's kind of funny because like I just thought it was funny because like it was almost like the perfect costumes. But all the perfect costumes were like either like Mexican or black dudes. It was always, all the white guys had the really lazy costumes.
Yeah.
And I'm just saying that because it just looked like you would be perfect. You could like cast you right now in a Batman movie, only if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of Thors, but the thing is, there's no like classic Thor. Everybody was always trying to be Chris Hemsworth Thor. Now I know that Chris Hemsworth was there, but it's like I didn't see a single.
A lot of Poison Ivies, a lot of jokes.
I was actually kind of surprised as many Poison Ivies as there was. But I guess it's like as a female, like you don't have
a lot of Harley Quinns.
As far as there's a lot of Harley Quinns. But I guess I never saw like a Huntress. I start thinking like into like the more depths of
really
like,
obscure. I got one with like with Arsenal.
Oh yeah, there's the Arsenal guy. I thought that was one of the coolest ones because it was very unique.
Yeah.
And I think that the main character, don't get me wrong, it's all cool. No matter who you dress up as, it's always cool. But I always think it's cool when somebody goes like, "Oh, cool, you want to be Speedy? That's badass."
I saw 2 regular Green Arrows and then Arrow.
Yeah. And like a couple of Green Arrow ones were kind of like half-assed ones. Like the guy was wearing like he just wore like a green vest that had a hood.
Well, one of the Batman outfits, like what I said, I think it was one of the best Batman outfits was actually really cool. It was a really detailed, like it was like a blue cape, very kind of like Neil Adams 70s one, and had like the symbol on the chest kind of poked out a little. It looked really well done. It looked really awesome.
Well, the nice thing is like I was thinking about that. I'm like, if you just did that, you could just always dress. You could just make this put all your money into one really good costume, and you're just like that's who you are every time you come. So everybody always knows you as like like oh you're the Deadpool guy, or you're the Batman guy, or you're the Poison Ivy chick, or something like that. Or I guess you could dress up with something different each time, but it is kind of cool. The one thing I always think though is like I was already sweating balls like the whole time as is because it was so fucking hot there. I could not imagine what it'd be like
in one of those
costume.
costumes.
Yeah, if I had to be a costume, I'm picking something that like doesn't have much on it.
There's a guy in a full on. He had to like need help putting together like a full on like
ghetto
robot like a what are they called? Was it Mechagodzilla or was it a Transformer?
I'm not too sure because like.
It was either Mechagodzilla or it was a Transformer. I wasn't too sure either.
It was something like that. It might have been Mechagodzilla, actually. That makes almost more sense. But it was made with like all like duct tape and like cardboard. But it was just like humongous. Like he must have like paid his friends to be like to carry my fucking suit in here because it was like the suit was like 8 times bigger than him.
Yeah. And I saw that guy a few times, just kind of like. The suit was down on the ground. He's still in the pants. These giant like he wasn't. He was kind of sitting, but kind of sitting standing up because the way the pants were just with a bottle of water, like covered in sweat, just looked like fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that was one like it was kind of neat, but it was also kind of like at the same time like that like one like a lot of work. 2,
plus it was all made
a
of
lot
duct
of
tape.
Fucking duct tape, and 3, it's like. Did this sound comfortable at the beginning? Like, did this sound like a great idea on paper? Just like carrying all this around, this humongous thing.
He probably because right after the Bruce Campbell thing, they're doing the Comic Con costume test or costume contest.
Test. This guy's been doing costume tests the whole day long.
but how do we feel so bad for that guy? If he's like, okay, I'm so gonna win. There's no way I'm not gonna win. Like, he can't fit through the door. Sorry, can't come in. Can't fit through the door. No, his friends are already in there, so he can't get out of the suit.
He's like stuck in the door.
Small T-Rex arms, like no, just clawing at the door. Mechagodzilla's attacking, folks. Run.
Well, I think the Comic Con, I enjoyed it like much more. It's like it sounds kind of like there's. I guess we just saw the dark evils that nobody ever pointed out to us, so I felt like we had all this
harsh
stuff
reality.
To talk. Yeah, I guess that's sort of what it was.
The underbelly of Comic Con.
Personally, I think this is how a Comic Con. I'd like to go to one of those Comic Cons. I guess that isn't Comic Con, but it's one where it's just a bunch of comic book writers and artists and so on, and that's all it is. Like because the thing I guess it did sort of bother me. It's like, even though there was people like, oh, cool, there's Bruce Campbell and stuff like that, but it's kind of like the television movie stars, I just feel like they hog too much of the show. Mm-hmm. And you can really tell that so many people there just have no idea who these writers are, even though they're coming to a thing called Comic Con. They only came because... They don't even know that The Walking Dead's a comic almost. They just know that there's a TV show. And it's sort of like that kind of thing. It's like, I just feel so bad because it's like, it is that sort of like, you're missing the point of this.
Yeah, exactly. That's
like, this comes from a guy, this is my first experience here, and I already know exactly what the purpose is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just love what Neil Adams said as we were walking away to some guy like, why the fuck you waiting for an actor? They can't draw.
And I felt like it wasn't, like, just like by hearing him on Fat Man and Batman, like, that wasn't like a joke. That was like the fucking truth. Like, that probably just to some of those guys just bothers the hell out of them. You know,
and he was even talking. I heard it was because he was talking about the guy that plays the Boondock Saints guy who plays Daryl in Walking Bad, and he was all talking about.
He's just say Walking Bad,
Walking Dead, whatever.
Yeah, the popular shows.
Walking Dead, and he said,
just like Walking Bad could just be like the sequel to Breaking Bad, but like the son, Walking Bad.
He's taking over the father. He's taking over Walt's meth business. So I'm here to take over the meth business. Jesse, I need your help. Jesse! Tracks Jesse down. But, Walking Back, I want to see that fucking show. No, no, that guy, he was actually, because it was funny. I thought this was kind of poetic justice. He was getting, he did an illustration of that guy for somebody, but he was getting money for it. He was complaining with the guys. He's like, I saw that guy the other day, and, it's so fucking weird. In television, women love, the handsome hillbilly hit guy. But the second you do that in real life, they'll kick you out of the fucking house. I don't fucking get it. Just like, I fucking love Neil Adams.
Neil Adams is just so cool.
Because he was signing a picture he did of that guy, so I just thought that was awesome.
But you just know that those guys, though, they probably hated... They thought that... I bet you all the artists and stuff, because it wasn't their idea to do this.
Yeah.
They probably hate the idea of putting television stars and starting to put, movie actors and whatnot. You know
what? I bet if you went to, say, probably one of the big cons, not this one of the big cons, they would probably be at a booth, and you would probably be at a place where more people know who they were. I mean, you still got a lot of people there to see, like snapshots or whatever big summer movies coming out. But I bet at a bigger con, they would have a bigger booth right next to the Marvel DC stuff that people are filtering in and out of. And I bet
they probably would separate, so it's not in one building, so it doesn't just kind of, so it feels like, here's your comic section, here's your movie section, here's your game section, here's your...
I never been inside the Sacramento Convention Center before, so I assumed it was a little bigger, and I assumed, like, okay, this is like where they sell the toys, maybe some comics. Next from, it's all the same room.
Yeah, then you realize it's all like weaved together.
Yeah.
And I can't expect it to be like sort of separate rooms. Mm-hmm. But there is kind of
they were.
Yeah, there is kind of just that sort of sad thing. You just kind of see it's just I almost feel like just mind us out the television stuff.
Another thing, granted he was there. I was surprised how many fucking Green Rangers from Power Rangers.
Oh, that was another one too. Is like, I know the Green Ranger was there, and that's one thing, but there was tons of people dressed up as Green Rangers and other Power Rangers to top it all off, and then even that, just so many people had Green Ranger T-shirts and.
He walked right past us, and we didn't even realize that was him because he was heading for we were staying there trying to figure out where Chris, we didn't see it unfortunately, where Chris Claremont's panel was.
Yeah. Because at first we just had no idea where the fuck we were, and then it was like, everything is all in the same area, but like. It was just hard to get around at first when you had no idea where you were going.
By the time we figured out where it was already like 20. He was already 10 minutes into it. It's like fuck it.
Yeah.
But he was, which I feel bad because when he was leaving his panel, I'm like, Chris, where's your room at? And I don't even fucking show up.
So, well, then we were like, we could track him down, so we're like following him, and then
we lose him in the crowd.
We literally were like, I'm like, follow that small Asian family. They know where he's going, but then they just got lost really quickly. I was like, fuck. So that's the worst thing to do is track down a small Asian family in America.
He hard to find him.
Oh yeah, because the next thing you know, they get like 3 rows ahead of you and you can't see him anymore.
No, but then we were standing there trying to figure out where he was, and like this guy walks by, like that guy looks kind of familiar. He's holding an iPad. He walks in the room like, "Hello, Sacramento." You're like, "Oh, that was the Green Ranger," and I noticed he had like a green streak in his hair just to get the point across.
Well, it was once like I know that like Power Rangers was a really big thing for anybody who grew up in the 90s.
I thought it just went away though.
But I actually didn't. I mean, I know it still goes on, but I didn't think that one had that hold on people that say other things that you watched as a kid, like whether it be like Batman or X-Men, or whether it even be Pokemon or stuff like that. I just didn't think Power Rangers had that much strength. I think people go like, oh, I remember watching that, but I just didn't know that people still like had that much like love for it.
Same here, yeah.
You know, because like one was like, I watched Power Rangers movie before, and I went back and watched the show, but that show doesn't hold up nearly as well.
It don't hold up, no.
You know, the action's cool in it, obviously, all the Japanese scenes. But
like the actual like fist
the other
fighting.
stuff, it's kind of like it's Power Rangers is like
all the high school
Saved
bullshit.
by the Bell mixed with like a Japanese action show.
There's actually, did you ever see the better Saved by the Bell, which was City Guys?
No, I never. I thought you were talking about the Saved by the Bell, the college years.
No, there's one as Prince of the East Coast, Saved by the Bell, and I heard the theme song, and like, it was like, C-I-T-Y, you can't see why, these guys are so much more than streetwise, City Guys. It was like that. Like, the end title was like, it was like the main character was like this total kind of like, what's up, bro? You know, kind of like surfer kid. Mm-hmm. Not surfer kid, but kind of like total like, whoa, man, you know. And like total 90s, long brown hair. Then his best friend was the black dude, and like the hip black kid, and they were all kind of they kind of like same exact personalities, just like the white version, the black version of them. And the when it said City Guys, like the picture would be them like this weird kind of like shaky MTV cam with that trail filter thing. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And like
then I said filter, it's just by making the shutter speed go.
Yeah, slower. Yeah. You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean. And like arms crossed, back to back, nodding, look at the camera behind a brick wall. You know, so, or in front of a brick wall. It was kind of like the good. It was like the good, like in my opinion, the good. Well, I mean, I don't know if it'd hold up now.
Saved by the Bell, I never thought that was a bad show.
It wasn't bad, but I thought it was like this was the better one. I don't know. My opinion, you know, it was kind of a. I guess Save the Bell had the same things. So that show actually had, like, there are moments where they would deal with darker things. Like, one of the characters would get peer pressured into drugs. There's one episode where, like, date rape was, like, the bad guy of the episode.
That's funny.
No, it was like, you know, the girls of the show started hanging out with, like, these college guys. Like, hey, man, we don't want you hanging out with our girlfriends. Like, hey, they like us just the way they are. Like, hey, quit being such a dick to college man. Whatever, you know.
College man knows how it goes.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, later, you know, he goes to his college roommate. He's like, hey, man, check out what I got. Pulls, like, a bag of roofies or whatever. High five. It's going to work. It's an awesome night. High five. Credits. No, it actually went to commercial break. That pretty ballsy if you just ended like that, you know.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. Pretty ballsy for a 90s show. Yeah, I'm not. I just forgot.
It blows my mind that the Power Ranger guy was that popular, and I can't think exactly what keeps that popularity up so high. I mean, I was excited to go like, oh, I just want to see what the Green Ranger. That's just cool anyway. That's more like a childhood thing.
Yeah.
You know, but it's not like, you know, it's not like meeting Kevin Conroy. Let's just say that.
No, I would have loved to meet Kevin Conroy. I would have gone on my way to meet Kevin Conroy. I really hope. Now I'm kind of scared though, because now I'm afraid if I meet Kevin Conroy, it'd be like $40.
Yeah, you know, that's all I think. I was just like, I just don't know where they get away. Like, the many things in life that I always go like, and people put up with this. Mm-hmm. I know that most people in life just kind of like, they're like herds of cattle. They just do what they're told and they just follow the pack. But it's that thing of like, there's like 90% of people have no idea what's going on. Only 10% of people know what's going on. I feel like shit. I'm sitting there in that 10% going like, I know what's going on here. And I'm like, why do you 90% put up with all this? It's like, is it really like, come on, like.
You took the red pill.
I know, yeah. And I just kind of go, I don't know, for 50, I just go like, you know, if you're going to charge that for everybody, make the thing like almost free to get into, or like $10 or something, something so low that like, it's not that big of a deal.
Which I'm wondering how much it is over, because the San Diego Comic Con, I think it's like $200 for a ticket.
Yeah, it's probably $200 for a day or something like that.
So I'm wondering how much is it.
It's probably all the same thing too. I bet you it's probably the same price, probably more for like the higher up people. Because I know if you looked in that book or whatever, it told you like, I think it was like $100 or $150 to like meet Chris Hemsworth.
A one-on-one time for like 5 minutes? Yeah. Okay, whatever.
If I'm paying $150, I better be able to go out to fucking dinner with Chris Hemsworth. Like, take him out for a time on the town or something like that. Like,
he's Chris Hemsworth. Fuck that. He should take you out of town.
Yeah, for my $150 pays for it all. I'm fine.
He grabs you by the hand, pulls the hammer, starts swinging it, flies out into the air.
Yeah, like that's like, you know what I mean? But it's like,
you start playing that like Lois Lane poem from like Richard Donner's Superman in your head.
And it's even like, I think about the Bruce Campbell thing. Okay, if it was $50 and you got a T-shirt and you got a signed picture, and you got your picture taken with him,
A hand
and
job.
a handshake. Well, not even that. I'm thinking realistically.
Yeah,
though. I'm thinking realistically. For $50, like a T-shirt, picture, autograph, you know, you get a picture with him. That would be worth $50. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I could see that, but like when you're really just going like, I'm paying $50 for something he fucking photocopied down at like Office Max a bunch of times, you know, and I get a quick handshake. I don't get anything else more than that. That's like it's just one of those ones like I don't get it. Like I guess to me like I like it's cool to meet a celebrity, but I don't care that much. It's not that big of a deal. Like you know, for me to pay money to go do it.
Isn't today because we went to the second show, the third show's today. Isn't he doing like a panel himself? Not just like okay meet and greet, but actual panel where he goes up there and answers questions or something like that.
Bruce Campbell?
No, Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, today that was kind of the only downfall because you're like because I was like well we'll just get Saturday ones. And then you'll just get the fucking enchilada of everything, you know what I mean?
He's just gonna, what's he gonna do? Like, I'm Chris Hemsworth, I'm so sexy. What's it gonna be?
Oh, just rip my shirt off.
He's like twisting his nipples, so sexy.
People just throwing money at him. Like the last guy on the planet that needs fucking money thrown at him, and that's what they're doing.
Why the fuck is Chris Hemsworth taking off his shirt and twisting his nipples while closing his eyes?
Yeah, but look, people are throwing money. You know, guys, girls, children. There's a kid up there. He's fucking throwing money at him.
He's doing the Mick Jagger chicken walk across the stage. People still throwing money. I'm like, this is the guy we got to play Thor.
But you know,
it's a good job on screen.
You could see where getting the 3-day pass would be kind of cool because I think the 3-day pass was only like $20 more than like the Saturday pass. It was like $85 or something. And if you went down to Sacramento, if you're somebody who had like just copious amounts of money that you could just be like, oh, okay, I'm just gonna stay at the hotel. I'm gonna eat out all the time, and we're gonna go back and forth between Comic Con Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can see what that'd be kind of like.
Yeah,
that'd be fun. If you just have money to spend, I think Comic Con just like would be like awesome. But if you don't feel like being Captain Republican for the day and you want to be Captain like, you know, like conservative, like we're like I don't want my money going anywhere. Strange enough, Captain Republican and Captain Conservative aren't the same people.
You think they would be by name, but
they're not. You know, you kind of get to that. Oh, is okay. I do just kind of wish that like there was. I mean, I guess if you just go to all the panels, I almost think that like the thing to do next time, especially if you went there for 3 days, is you could almost go Friday, and that could be your fun time to run around and buy shit. But by that point, you just go Saturday and Sunday, and you just hit all the panels. Mm-hmm. That's probably the way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and keep it just simple like that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'd like to go to another one, but I would really like to just go.
There's an anime con
soon.
I know that Sacramento's popular for an anime con. Now, I'm much more into... Even though I like anime, I'm much more into comics, but I'm sure you'd still see some pretty cool stuff there.
Well, just like, because, you know, you go here, and, you know, it's supposed to be Comic-Con. Let's just include the television and movie section. But just the regular comic stuff, it's like, you know, it's mostly like 90% comics, 10% anime probably, you could say. Or maybe even like 75% comics, 25% anime and other stuff. Probably anime is kind of like that, too. It's 75% anime, 25% other stuff. Mm-hmm. So that'd be cool. I would like just to find one of those comic ones that was just straight up comics. And who knows, maybe they don't have many names, but I'd like to just see one where you just had a bunch of writers and artists.
Yeah,
I think that'd be really cool.
At the beginning of Chasing Amy.
Exactly, something like that, you know. And I think, I would definitely go to one of these again. If this came around next year to Sacramento, sure.
I'd check it out. I'd like to have a booth next year and try and get something.
I know, I was looking at that too. I was like, because one of the guys told me it was like $1,000 for the big thing. But I'm like, well, yeah, but one of those tables, if fucking Marker Boys can get like one in there,
the Marker Boys.
The Marker Boys clearly.
It's like a band. Like
I cannot imagine those guys being able to spend more than like $500 to get one of those.
Billy Yates and the Marker Boys.
Yeah.
Like a 50s
so I was like, fuck it, we should just get a fucking booth next time. That'd be the ideal thing.
I'd be down for doing that. Yeah.
You know. But yeah. So yeah, it's something I think if you've never been, like we never went. I mean, so that means if we didn't go, there's got to be tons of other people that just have never gone that always wanted to go.
Yeah.
You know, something to check out. You know. Mm-hmm. It is. It's fun. If anything, at the end of the day, it's just something to do and it's fun. You know, just because Bruce Campbell won't, you know, give you a fucking T-shirt and hug and all that other kind of stuff.
Chris Hemsworth is walking back and forth on stage doing the chicken dance for Mick Jagger.
But yeah.
I don't know if he's doing that. I'll have to check out YouTube tonight and see if somebody uploaded that, but who knows? It's just a guess.
Who knows? But till then, make sure to check out oldmanorange.com for all kinds of other videos, art, and so on. Go send us an email at oldmanorangepodcast@yahoo.com.
We'll read it on the air.
Yeah. Make sure also when you're on our website or Podomatic, If you're going to buy anything from Amazon or GameStop, click through the ad on there and then buy something. It doesn't cost you anything extra, but it does give us something a little bit. Subscribe, download, share. All that stuff helps with the podcast. Check out the videos and so on. So till then, I'm Spencer Scott Holmes.
I'm Ryan Dunigan.
And we will see you some other time.